Well, good afternoon and welcome to Word for the Day. My name's Jonathan Jennings and I'm on the staff team at St Margaret's Church in Rainham in Kent. And well, today's Boxing Day, and that means that it's one of the major feast days of the church. It's the feast of St Stephen, the first martyr, who gave witness before being stoned to death right at the start of the history of our church. And it's a feast that often gets left out or overlooked. In fact, I think the only popular reference to the feast of Stephen comes in the carol Good King Wenceslas, when the good king, having this major feast on the day after Christmas Day, looked out and saw yonder peasant gathering winter fuel. And the story, of course, is well known. He went out with his servant and took the man some cheer in the form of flesh and wine and pine logs, food, wine and drink for him, also to keep his feast, but also to stave off the hunger and poverty that was endemic across Europe in those days. And I think as I look back over the Christmas season, one of the striking things this year has been how much people in this area and far beyond it have banded together to make sure that people don't go hungry this Christmas, whether it's the work of the Trussell Trust and the Food Bank, the Medway Food Bank, or the restaurants that have been doing takeaway meals in cartons. You don't have to look very far on the Rainham Facebook pages to find that wonderful tradition of taking food to the hungry as one which has been really honoured and supported during the whole period of this crisis and lockdown. And we know from our own contacts in St Margaret's Church how much that's been appreciated. But it's one of those fundamental good things that people can do. And I hope that when the crisis and the challenge of the pandemic is forgotten, or at least a good way behind us, we won't have forgotten how to help those in need, those around us, those who suffer, those who've needed food in this period. It's been quite an eye-opener in a very positive sense to watch people emulating good King Wenceslas, to see those cartons of food go out, to know that the supermarkets are letting people have surplus food in order to continue this wonderful work of feeding the hungry. And as some of us sit replete on Boxing Day, it's a thought for us too to remember that as we go back to normal, or as close to normal as we can get in these tier 4 days, that job of feeding the hungry is still there to do. And we've had an insight as to how we can come together and do that as a community, and long may that continue. So I hope you've had a very good Christmas and you're not too replete on Boxing Day, and that you're ready for the challenges of the days ahead. Thank you very much for joining us. We're back tonight with night prayer, and tomorrow morning at 10:30 is our service of Holy Communion live from St Margaret's Church in Rainham, and then at 6:30 there is a service of informal worship too. Thanks for joining us.